The question was the right hand limit and the left hand limit of the function f of x equals e to the power of 1 by x minus 1 divided by e to the power of 1 by x plus 1. This is when x is not equal to 0 and 0 if x is equal to 0. So the function was defined in this way, and we have to find out the right hand limit and left hand limit. Okay, so the options are RHL is 1 and LHL is minus 1. Option B, RHL and LHL both are minus 1. Option C is RHL is minus 1 and LHL is 1. And option D, 1 and 1. Both RHL and LHL are 1. Okay. So, since it is asked in the order RHL and LHL, we will first find out the RHL, that is the right hand limit. Okay. That is limit as x tends to 0 plus. Okay. So limit as x tends to 0 plus e to the power of 1 by x minus 1 divided by e to the power of 1 by x plus 1. Okay. So here when x is tending to 0 means the function, the value of the x is not exactly equal to 0. Okay. So in the number line from the right side x is tending to 0. That means x exactly not equal to 0. Therefore this will be our function definition. Okay. Now let us replace x by h, that is limit as h tends to 0. The function will be e to the power of 1 by h minus 1 divided by e to the power of 1 by h plus 1. See, here when we substitute h is equal to 0, the value of e to the power of h, that is e to the power of 1 by h, that will become e to the power of infinity, right? So what is e to the power of infinity? What is e to the power of infinity?
0.
E to the power of infinity is 0. E to the power of infinity is infinity. Okay, so here to avoid that infinity, let us take e to the power of 1 by h common from both the numerator and denominator. So here let us take e to the power of 1 by h common. What is left out is 1 minus 1 by e to the power of h divided by, taking e to the power of 1 by h common from the denominator, we are left with 1 plus 1 by e to the power of h. So here e to the power of 1 by h in both numerator and denominator will cancel to give us limit as h tends to 0, 1 minus e to the power of minus 1 by h, right? Because e to the power of 1 by h here, e to the power of 1 by h is in the denominator. So here e to the power of h is in the denominator. Therefore, we can write it as e to the power of, 1 by h. This is 1 by h, right? 1 by e to the power of 1 by h. Here also 1 by e to the power of 1 by h. So here it can be written as 1 by e to the power of 1 by h can be written as e to the power of minus 1 by h divided by, in the denominator it will be 1 plus e to the power of minus 1 by h. Now we can substitute h is equal to 0, isn't it? So when we substitute h is equal to 0 here, what happens? E to the power of minus 1 by h. When h is equal to 0, this will become Since it is minus, are you getting the point? This is 1 minus 1 by e to the power of 1 by h. Okay. When you substitute h is equal to 0, the denominator will be, what is the denominator? Infinity, right? What is 1 by infinity?
Infinity.
So 1 by infinity, what is, okay, tell me, what is e to the power of minus infinity? The value will be equal to 0. Okay. So here, when we substitute e to the h is equal to 0 here, this will become 1 minus 0 divided by 1 plus 0. The value is 1. That is RHL is 1. Understood? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Remember, e to the power of minus infinity is 0. Okay. Now, let us find out LHL. Now, we have got the value of RHL as 1. Let us find out LHL. So, LHL is limit as x tends to 0 minus 1 minus e to the power of 1 by h divided, 1 by x divided by 1 minus e to the power of, 1 plus e to the power of 1 by x. Okay. Now,
e to the power of 1 by x minus 1, no, ma'am?
Sorry. The function is e to the power of 1 by x minus 1 divided by e to the power of 1 by x plus 1. Okay. So what we did here, we have written correctly, right? Okay. So e to the power of 1 by x minus 1 divided by e to the power of 1 by x plus 1. Okay. So here we can write it as limit as x tends to, h tends to 0. Since x is approaching 0 from the left side, the h will be negative here. That is limit as h tends to 0. This will become e to the power of minus 1 by h minus 1 divided by e to the power of minus 1 by h plus 1. Okay. Why is minus here? Why there is minus here?
Left hand side.
Yes, because x is approaching 0 from this side, from the left side. And these are the numbers that are less than 0. And they will be negative. Isn't it? So here, when h tends to 0, this will be e to the power of minus 1 by h minus 1 divided by e to the power of minus 1 by h plus 1. Okay, now let us substitute h is equal to 0 here. Okay, so the LHL now will become, when we substitute h is equal to 0, this will be once again e to the power of minus infinity whose value is 0. Therefore, this will be 0 minus 1 divided by 0 plus 1. Here, the value of LHL is minus 1. So, we got RHL as 1 and LHL as minus 1. Therefore, which was the right option? Which was the right option? Option A, isn't it? Option A was given to be 1 and minus 1. Option A is the right answer. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, in the right hand limit, even instead of removing common, we can remove it directly, like left hand limit.
Like left
Then
hand.
it will come minus 1, ma'am.
How can you remove the?
Without removing the common, we can substitute, no, ma'am.
We
I mean
took
the right hand limit.
in the right hand
Correct,
limit.
sir, ma'am.
So just as we mute your audio. Okay, you are asking that just as we did in the LHL, why can't we substitute h is equal to 0 in the RHL? Isn't it? The question is that one, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See here, we have e to the power of 1 by h, not e to the power of minus 1 by h. I told you e to the power of 1 by h. When we substitute h is equal to 0, we get e to the power of infinity. Okay. And the value of e to the power of infinity is infinity. Okay. E to the power of minus infinity will be equal to 0. Okay. The value of e to the power of infinity is, I just now told you what is the value of e to the power of infinity.
Infinity.
Infinity. But e to the power of minus infinity is equal to 0. So here directly we cannot substitute e to the power of 1 by h, where, sorry, we cannot directly substitute h is equal to 0 in e to the power of 1 by h. Only after taking common. See, you might have done so many problems while doing the limits, right? Limit as n tends to infinity, suppose n plus 2. Directly you will not substitute infinity, right? You cannot substitute directly n is equal to infinity. What you will do first, for example, in the denominator also, suppose n plus 1 is there. You take n common from both numerator and denominator, right? That is the way how you do it, right? Because you directly cannot substitute n is equal to infinity here. You take n common, this will be 1 plus 2 by n. And here you will take n common. What is common? Sorry, this will be 1 plus 1 by n. N and n cancels out. Then you substitute n is equal to infinity here, right? The same way what we have done here. By taking e to the power of 1 by h as a common term both from numerator, by cancelling out, we have substituted h is equal to 0 here. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So shall we move on then? We'll move to continuity and differentiability. Can anybody tell me, when do you say that a function is continuous?
Ma'am, when f of a equals to LHL equals to RHL.
When f of a is equal to LHL is equal to RHL. Okay. Do you know any other meaning of a continuous function? How the continuous function behaves? Okay, listen. So your friend told that f of a must be equal to LHL, must be equal to RHL. If all the three terms are equal, then you say that a function is continuous at x is equal to a, right? So for a continuous function, the graph will always be a single unbroken smooth curve. Okay. What do you say? When do you say that a function is continuous? When the graph of the function is a single unbroken curve. There should be not any jumps or anything. So if the graph is a single continuous curve, unbroken curve, then you say that the function is continuous. Okay. When do you say that a function is differentiable? When do you say that a function is differentiable? Anybody? A function is differentiable if it has a derivative, right? If it has a derivative, then the function is differentiable. Okay, functions can be differentiable as a whole or maybe at only certain locations. Okay, so we have that all differentiable functions are continuous. Okay, all differentiable functions will be continuous. All differentiable functions are continuous, but not all continuous functions are differentiable. Okay, the vice versa is not true. All continuous functions are not differentiable. There may be some continuous functions which are not differentiable also. Okay, suppose if f of x is continuous at a, okay, f of x is continuous at a, then the limit as x tends to a, f of x will be equal to f of a. Then only we can say that the function is continuous at a. Okay, keep this in mind. All differentiable functions are continuous, but the vice versa is not true. That is, all continuous functions are not differentiable. There are some continuous functions which are not differentiable also. Okay, shall we see the questions then? Yeah, got the material, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Look at the question number 48 in that. So this was a question from your 2015 paper. Question number 48 in that. F of x equals 3x minus 8 if f is less than or equal to 5 and 2k if x is greater than 5. This is the definition of the function, and it is said that it is continuous. This function is continuous. You have to find k. What is k? Okay, the options are (3 by 7), option B 7 by 2, option C 2 by 7, and option D is 4 by 7. Okay, so let us see the solution. Here the function is said to be continuous. Okay, therefore the LHL at x is equal to 5 must be equal to the RHL at x is equal to 5. That is, limit as x tends to 5 minus of f of x must be equal to limit as x tends to 5 plus of f of x. That is, the LHL must be equal to RHL. So 5 minus means all the values that are less than 5, right? What is the definition of the function here when the value of x is less than 5?
3x minus 8.
3x minus 8. That is, here limit as x tends to 5 minus 3x minus 8 must be equal to limit as x tends to 5 plus. Okay, so 5 plus means all the values that are greater than 5. When x is greater than 5, the function definition is 2k. Okay, Now let us apply the limit values. That is 3 into 5 minus 8 will be equal to 2 into k, right? There are no x here. Okay, 2k will be a constant. Therefore, this is 15 minus 8 is equal to 2k, or k is equal to 7 by 2. So this is the value of k, provided the given function is continuous. So this is your option B. Right? Look at the question number 49. This question was both in 2015 paper and 2016 paper. The function f of x equals the greatest integer function of x, that is where this x enclosed in square brackets represents greatest integer function. We have to find out that where this function is continuous. Okay, that is the function f of x is equal to greatest integer function of x, then the function is continuous at the values are given. The option A is -2, option B is 1.5, option C is 4, and option D is 1. Okay, so we have seen questions involving this greatest integer function, right? Even while doing the problems on trigonometry, relations and functions, I think. So can anybody tell me what is this greatest integer function? What is greatest integer function of x? How do we define this?
Any decimal number will be converted to the integer present in the decimal number.
Okay. So when you have a number between 1 and 2, then it will be rounded off to the nearest integer function. Not nearest, it will be rounded off to exactly 1, right? That is, whenever x will be in between 0 and 1, the greatest integer function of x will be equal to 0. When x lies between 1 and 2, then the value of the greatest integer function for all the numbers that are lying between 1 and 2, including 1, will be equal to 1. Similarly, when x lies between 2 and 3, the function value will be 2. Like that, it continues. Okay. So, let us understand this in a more better way with the help of graph. Okay. So, let this be the origin. Okay, so here when the value lies between 0 and 1, the greatest integer function of x here will be 0, right? And from whatever the value that lies between 0 and 1, the value of the function will be 0 itself. That is, including 0 up to 1, but excluding this 1. Okay, the greatest integer function of x will be the value 0 itself. Similarly, from 1 to 2, including 1, the value of the function will be 1. That is, including this 1 up to 2. Okay, so then from 2 to 3, including 2, function will be, the value of the function will be 2. Similarly, when we come this side, so from -1 to 0, the value of the function will be -1, excluding this 0. Okay, so look at this graph. Can you say where these functions are discontinuous? Can anybody say at what values this function is discontinuous? Yes, you can try. You can try to answer. It is clearly visible in the graph. Where are this function discontinuous? Graph jump agidiyappa.
At the end points.
At the end points, right? At 1, the function, the graph is not joined. At 2, the graph has a jump. At -1, the graph has a jump. At -2, the graph has a jump. That is, can you see at all the integer values, the graph is having a jump. That means at all the integer values, the graph is discontinuous. But what about the values that are between 0 and 1, between 1 and 2, between 2 and 3? Is the graph continuous there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now can you tell me the answer where the function is continuous?
Option B.
1.
And B.
Option B. At 1.5, the value, the graph, the function is continuous. In all other options, there are integers, right? -2 is an integer, 4 is an integer, 1 is an integer. By looking at the graph, you can say that at integer values, the graph has a jump. The function is discontinuous. Only at the values that are between the integers, the function is continuous. So here the only value that is not integer is 1.5. At this value, the function is continuous. Okay, 1.5. Look at this. So here at the value 1.5, the function is continuous. It doesn't break, right? So at 1.5, the function is continuous. Okay. Understood? Look at the next question. If y equals log of 1 minus x square divided by 1 plus x square, then then dy by dx is equal to, you have to differentiate the given function with respect to x. The options are 4x cube divided by 1 minus x to the power of 4. Option B is minus 4x cube divided by 1 minus x to the power of 4. C is minus 4x divided by 1 minus x to the power of 4. Option D is 1 by 4 minus x to the power of 4. Okay. So the given function is y equals log of 1 minus x square divided by 1 plus x square. Okay. Now tell me how we are going to differentiate this function.
Chain rule.
Chain rule. Okay. So first you have to differentiate this entire thing, log of, taking this as some x. Okay. We will consider this as complete x, and we know that differentiation of log x is
1 by x.
1 by. Then we have to further differentiate the term that is in the denominator, right? So here you have to differentiate this entire term. So what is this entire term? It is a fraction, right? So which rule you are going to make use here? Once again, you have to make use of quotient rule, right? D by dx of u by v. The quotient rule you have to make use of here. Okay, so let us differentiate this. Let us differentiate with respect to x. Okay, so here dy by dx will be 1 by 1 minus x square divided by 1 plus x square. That can be written as 1 plus x square divided by 1 minus x square, right? Further, we have to differentiate this using quotient rule. Okay, in the numerator, this will be 1 plus x square whole square into, this will be minus 2x, differentiation of the numerator, into the denominator minus numerator into differentiation of denominator. So here it will be 2x. Is the differentiation clear? Have you understood till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we just have to simplify this. Okay. Now let us simplify. So the numerator of this dy by dx will become minus 2x minus 2x cube minus of 2x minus 2x cube, right? So the denominator will be 1 minus x square into 1 plus x square. You know how I have simplified? So here the square and the term cancels out, and in the denominator what is left is 1 minus x square into 1 plus
Option C.
Option C. Calculated?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. So here What all the terms that gets cancelled out? Minus 2x, minus 2x cube and plus 2x cube cancel out, right? This is minus 2x, minus 2x cube, minus 2x plus 2x cube, right? In the denominator, it will be, it is of the form a plus b into a minus b. What is a plus b into a minus b?
A square minus B square.
A square minus b square. Here it is 1 minus x to the power of 4. This 2x cube and 2x cube cancels and this will be minus 4x divided by 1 minus x to the power of 4. So this is your option C. Therefore, answer is option C. Look at the next question. If x equals a cos cube theta, y equals a sin cube theta, then 1 plus dy by dx whole square. 1 plus dy by dx whole square is, options are option A tan square theta, option B 1, option C tan theta, and option D secant square theta. Look at this x. X is a function of theta, right? So we have to differentiate this x with respect to theta. Okay, what is dx by d theta? Yes.
Ma'am, dx by dt, dy by dt whole divided by dx by dt.
Okay, so here it will be a into differentiation of cos theta is 3 cos square theta into differentiation of cos theta is minus sin theta. Okay, and similarly this is minus a 3 cos square theta into sin theta. And look at y. Y is also a function of theta. Let us differentiate this. Dy by d theta is equal to a into 3 sin square theta into cos theta. Differentiation of sin theta is cos theta. Now we have got dy by d theta and dx by d theta. What we have to do in order to find dy by dx? We should divide dy by d theta by
Dx by dt.
d theta. So dy by d theta is 3a sin square theta cos theta. This is minus 3a cos square theta sin theta. So we can cancel 3a and 3a here. Sin and square, cos and square, and what is left out is sin theta by cos theta, which is tan theta. Now let us find out what is 1 plus dy by dx whole square. So This will be 1 plus tan square theta. What is 1 plus tan square theta?
Secant square theta.
Secant square theta. So this is your option D. Okay, somebody has asked, are there no tricks to solve this? Wherever the tricks are applicable, I will tell you. Okay. Next question. If y is equal to e to the power of sine inverse t square minus 1 and x equals e to the power of secant inverse 1 by t square minus 1, then dy by dx equals, options are x by y minus y by x, y by x minus x by y. Okay, so y is given to be e to the power of sine inverse t square minus 1 and x is given to be e to the power of secant inverse 1 by t square minus 1. You have to find out dy by dx. So can anybody tell me what method can be used here?
dy by dt and dx by dt.
Dy by dt and dx by dt, since y is a function of t and x is a function of t. But that is a lengthy process, right? We will do it in some other way, so which will make our calculations easy. Okay, so look at this x. X is e to the power of secant inverse of 1 by t square minus 1, right? Can we write it as e to the power of cos inverse t square minus 1? We can write it in this way, right? Can
Yes,
we
ma'am.
write it like this?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me how we will write it? Secant inverse of 1 by t square minus 1 as cos inverse t square minus 1?
Ma'am, reciprocal.
Yes.
Cos inverse is equal to 1 by secant inverse.
Okay. So see here, let this secant inverse 1 by t square minus 1 be, suppose say m. So 1 by t square minus 1 will be secant m then. Okay. So what about cos m? Cos m will be t square minus 1 or m will be equal to cos inverse of t square minus 1. So secant inverse 1 by t square minus 1 can be written as cos inverse
Ma'am,
t square minus 1. Yes.
ma'am, secant inverse x equals to cos inverse x, no, ma'am.
Secant inverse.
Secant inverse x equals to cos inverse x, no, ma'am. Why did it come cos? I mean, secant inverse x equals to cos x, no, ma'am. Why cos inverse x came?
Secant inverse x, how can it be equal to cos inverse x? See, look at this entire method.
No, ma'am. Secant inverse x equals to cos x, no, ma'am.
How secant inverse x can be equal to cos x?
1 by secant x equals to cos x. That means secant inverse x equals to cos x.
No, that is not true. Okay, look at this. This is how you do it. Secant inverse x, let us consider it as m. Okay, then that secant m will be equal to 1 by t square minus 1. So now let us take the reciprocal. Okay. So secant x is 1 by cos x, right? Or cos x is 1 by secant x. So now to write it as cos x in terms of cos x, we have to do 1 by t square minus 1. Okay. Therefore, cos x will be, cos m will be t square minus 1, or m is equal to cos inverse t square minus 1. I will tell you what you had asked for. Okay, how it won't be possible. Now, we have got x is e to the power of cos inverse t square minus 1, and we have y is equal to e to the power of sin inverse t square minus 1. Let us multiply them. Let us find out x into y. X into y will be e to the power of sin inverse of t square minus 1, and y is e to the power of cos inverse of t square minus 1. Okay. Now, since the base here are e, we can add the powers, right? This will be e to the power of sin inverse t square minus 1 plus cos inverse t square minus 1. Now tell me, what is sin inverse t square minus 1 plus cos inverse t square minus 1? What is the value of it? Anybody?
Pi by 2.
Yes. The value of this sin inverse t square minus 1 plus cos inverse t square minus 1 is pi by 2. Okay. Now we have a simple equation. Xy is equal to e to the power of pi by 2. Now let us differentiate this. Okay. So x into y there, we have to make use of product rule, right? So keep x as it is. Differentiate y with respect to x. Keep y as it is. Dx by dx will be equal to 1. And what about RHS? What is the differentiation of RHS with respect to x? E to the power of pi by 2. It is a constant, right? So what is the differentiation of it?
E to the power of 5 by 2.
E to the power of pi by 2 is a constant. Is there a x in that?
0.
Variable illa alva? Differentiation madidre 0 baratte. So now tell me, what is dy by dx?
Ma'am, option B.
Option B. Dy by dx will be minus y by x. So if you do dy by dt, then dx by dt, and then divide it, you must know the differentiation of cos inverse x. You must know the differentiation of sin inverse x. Okay, instead of that, you can do it like this. Okay. Look at the next problem. If x to the power of y is equal to e to the power of x minus y, then dy by dx is equal to. Sorry. The options are log x divided by log of x minus y. Option B is e to the power of x divided by x to the power of x minus y. Option C, log x divided by 1 plus log x whole square. Option D is 1 by y minus 1 by x minus y. So we have got here x to the power of y is equal to e to the power of x minus y. How do you differentiate this? Tell me how to differentiate this. Can we make use of logarithmic differentiation here?
Yes, ma'am.
ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು? We can take log on both the sides, right? So we can take log on both sides. Taking log on both the sides will give us y log x is equal to x minus y. Okay? Any doubts in this? You understood how this came? Y log x is equal to x minus y. If you don't respond, how do I get to know whether you have understood or not?
Yes, ma'am. Understood, ma'am.
Now let us differentiate this. Let us differentiate with respect to x. Okay. So here we have y and log x. We have to make use of product rule. So keeping y as it is, differentiation of log x is 1 by x plus keeping log x as it is, differentiation of y with respect to x is dy by dx equal to differentiating RHS dx by dx is 1 minus dy by dx. We need dy by dx here. So let us take all the terms having dy by dx to LHS. Okay. So taking the terms having dy by dx to LHS, this will give us 1 plus log x into dy by dx will be equal to 1 minus y by x, right? Further, this can be written as dy by dx equals x minus y divided by x into 1 plus log x. So this is the value of dy by dx. Now, this is not among any of our options. We have to bring this answer to any of the forms. Okay. So can anybody tell what we can do? What can we do here? Any ideas? So here there is x minus y, right? What is x minus y here?
Y log x.
So we can replace x minus y by y log x. So here also we have x into 1 plus log x. What about x from this equation? What is x from this equation?
Y log x plus y.
Y log x plus y, or x is equal to y into 1 plus log x, right? So from the same equation we get x is equal to y into 1 plus log x. And from the same equation, we have x minus y is equal to y log x. Let us substitute that one. So x minus y is y log x divided by y into 1 plus log x into 1 plus log x. Now, we can cancel this y, that is in both the numerator and denominator. So log x will be remaining in the numerator. In the denominator, this will be 1 plus log x whole square. So now we have got a desired form of dy by dx. And this is your option C.
C.
So question number 54, it is if x to the power of m into y to the power of n is equal to x plus y to the power of m plus n, you have to find out dy by dx. So it is also the same process. Okay. So it is also the same process. You can do it yourself. If you don't get it, you can ask me later in the next class. Let us do it. So look at the question number 55. The differential coefficient of log x to base 10 with respect to log 10 to base x is. So we have to find out the differential coefficient of log x to base 10 with respect to log 10 to base x. The options given are, option A is 1, option B is minus of log x to base 10 whole square, option C is log 10 to base x whole square, option D is x square by 100. Okay. Now, let us take this log 10 to base x as some t. Okay. And we have, by the properties of logarithms, log 10 to base x can be written as log 10 by log x. Okay. So we can write log 10 to base x as log 10 by log x. Therefore, what is t here? T here will be log 10 by log x. Okay. Let this be equation 1. Now, what we have to do is, we have to find out d by d of log x to base 10 of the function log 10 to base x. This is what is asked, right? We have to differentiate log x to base 10 with respect to log 10 to base x. So we have taken this as t, isn't it? That is, we have to find out d by dt of log 10 to base x. And we know that log 10 to, sorry, this is log x to base 10. You know that by the property of logarithms, this can be written as log x by log 10, right? So this one, log x to base 10. This can be written as log x by log 10. What is this? This is nothing but 1 by t, right? What is t? T is log 10 by log x. But what is here? Log x by log 10. So this can be written as 1 by t. So what is d by dt of 1 by t? What is d by dt of 1 by t?
1 by t square.
Only 1 by t square. Very 1 by t.
-1.
Minus 1 by t square.
Minus 1 by t square. Okay. Or this is minus t to the power of -2. And we know that what is t? T is log 10 to base x. Therefore, it is minus of log 10 to base x to the power -2. Which is nothing but minus of log x to base 10 to the power 2.
Ma'am, can you repeat it from the d of d by log x, log 10 to the base x, ma'am?
This step.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See here in the question, it is given that you have to find out the differential coefficient of log x to base 10 with respect to log x to, log x to base 10 with respect to log 10 to base x. It is like differentiating y with respect to x. So when you differentiate y with respect to x, you write it as dy by dx, right? So that is what we have written here. We have to differentiate this log x to, sorry, I have written both the sides same. This is log x to base 10. So we have to differentiate this log x to base 10 with respect to log 10 to base x. Now we have taken this log x to base 10 as t, right? Sorry. This log 10 to base x as t. Now, by the properties of logarithms, log 10 to base x can be written as log 10 by log x. Okay. Now, we have this log 10 to base x. We have taken it as t. Now, I am just replacing this log 10 to base x by t, and we have to differentiate log x to base 10 with respect to this t. Okay, once again, from the properties of logarithms, we can write this log x to base 10 as log x by log 10. Okay, now this term can be written as 1 by t. How? We have t is equal to this one log 10 by log x. So from this, what will be 1 by t? 1 by log 10 by log x, which is log x by log 10. That is what we have here, log x by log 10. Now this can be written as 1 by t. Now we have to differentiate 1 by t with respect to t. And we know that differentiation of 1 by t with respect to t is minus 1 by t square. Okay. Minus 1 by t square is nothing but minus of t to the power of minus 2. Okay. So what is t to the power of minus 2 is? T is log 10 to base 6, that is minus of log 10 to base x to the power minus 2, or it is nothing but log x to base 10 to the power 2. Okay? You understood this one? How we wrote this one?
Last step.
Last step. Okay. So I'll write it here. Minus t to the power of minus 2 is there, which is minus log 10 to base x to the power minus 2, right? Or this is nothing but minus of log 10 divided by log x to the power minus 2. Okay? So this is the entire term. What about if I take the reciprocal of this? So this is our entire term. Now what I am doing is, I am taking 1 over this log 10 by log x to the power, then the power will become 2. See here, what are we doing is, we are substituting for t log 10 by log x. Understood? Understood now? Wait. So we had
Yes, ma'am.
minus 1 by t square, right? This is nothing but minus 1 by, what is t? Log 10 by log x whole square, which is nothing but minus of log x by log 10 whole square. So what is log x by log 10? Minus of log x to base 10 whole square. Now, okay? Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Look at the next question. Tan inverse of x square plus y square is equal to alpha if tan inverse of x square plus y square is equal to alpha, then dy by dx is equal to the options are, option A is minus x by y, option B is xy, option C is x by y, and option D is minus xy. So here it is given that tan inverse of x square plus y square is equal to alpha. So x square plus y square can be written as tan alpha. Now let us differentiate this. So when we differentiate x square, this will become 2x plus differentiation of y square will be 2y into dy by dx. What about RHS? What is the differentiation of tan alpha with respect to x?
0.
0. Very good. Now we need dy by dx. Dy by dx will be minus 2x by 2y, or this will be minus x by y. So option A is the right answer. Look at the question number 58. This was a question of 2017 paper. If y equals tan inverse of sin x plus cos x divided by cos x minus sin x, then dy by dx is. So majority of the questions here are finding dy by dx itself. So option A is 0, option B is 1 by 2, option C is pi by 4, and option D is 1. Okay, can anybody tell me what can be done here? What is differentiation of tan inverse x?
1 by 1 plus x square.
Can you do it here?
Ma'am, take all the values of like sin x plus cos x by cos x minus sin x as t,
Hmm?
and then we can do it, ma'am.
What about simplification? Won't the simplification be hectic? See here, in the numerator, let us take cos x as common. So what is left out is sin x by cos x, that is tan x plus 1 divided by, if we take cos x in the denominator common, so we will have 1 minus tan x. So let us cancel this out. This is nothing but tan inverse of tan of pi by 4 plus x. So tan inverse of tan is there. So y is nothing but pi by 4 plus x, or dy by dx is 1. Is your option D. Understood? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Look at the next question. Question number 60. If y equals log of log x then d square y by dx square is equal to. So we have to differentiate y twice. Okay. So y is given to be log of log x. So we have to make use of what rule? So here we have log of log x. First, let us differentiate this. This will be 1 by log x, and further differentiation of log x will be equal to 1 by x. So dy by dx is 1 by x log x. Now let us differentiate this again with respect to x, that is d square y by dx square. Now we have to make use of
Some rule.
What you will do? What can we do? ಹೇಳ್ರಮ್ಮ ಮಾತಾಡಿ. How do you differentiate this? How do you find out d square y by dx square?
Minus 1 by x.
Yes. So this is of the form 1 by x alva. D by dx of 1 by x will be minus 1 by x square. But x is what? Here, x log x. We have to further differentiate it. So this is the product of terms. Further we will make use of product rule. So this is minus 1 by x log x whole square into differentiating x log x will give us x into 1 by x plus log x into 1, which is minus 1 by x log x whole square into 1 plus log x. This can be written as minus of 1 plus log x divided by x log x whole square. So which option is the right answer?
B.
Yes. Answer is option B. Look at the next question. Question number 61. If y equals determinant of f of x, g of x, h of x, L, M, N in the second row, and A, B, C in the third row. So this is your function. Then dy by dx is equal to the options are pretty big. I think you have that in the PDF. Okay. So how do you differentiate a determinant? Anybody know? How can we differentiate a determinant? So the differentiation of determinants will be like this. First, you just differentiate the first row and write the terms in the second and third row as it is. Okay. So here it will be f dash of x G dash of X, H dash of X. You have to write the elements in the second and third row as it is. Then you have to just differentiate the second row in the given determinant and write the first and the third row as it is. So here f of x, g of x and h of x remains same. Differentiation of L will be 0 because it is a constant. Similarly, differentiation of M and N will be zeros. Write the third row as it is. Again, we have to differentiate only the third row. Write the first row as it is, second row as it is. Differentiate only the third row. So what is the differentiation of A with respect to X? It is 0. Differentiation of B is 0 and differentiation of C is 0. So now dy by dx will be equal to f dash of x, determinant of f dash of x, g dash of x and h dash of x, L, M, N, A, B, C. So this will be the dy by dx. Okay. Why? Can you tell me why? Anybody? Why only this determinant will be the value of dy by dx? What about other two? What happened to other two determinants?
Properties of
What? Yes, speak up. What happened to other two determinants? What is the value of those two determinants? Aren't they both zeros? Here, the entire row of the determinant is 0. So the value of the determinant will be equal to 0. So here also the complete one row, that is the third row, is equal to 0. Therefore, the value of determinant here also will be equal to 0. Only what is left out is the first determinant and the other two will be equal to 0. Therefore, the dy by dx, the value of the dy by dx is equal to determinant of f dash, g dash and h dash, L, M, N, A, B, C. Okay, so this is your option A, I think, right? So your answer is option A. Okay, we will continue in the next class. Thank you all of you.